cost of living is skyrocketing in Australia and across Western countries, leaving many pensioners struggling to afford rent, groceries and bills. If your money doesn't stretch as far as it used to, you're not alone. But there are ways to take back control. In countries like Sweden and Norway, who ensure retirement security, Australia's system does not. The rate of poverty in retirement in Australia is 22.6%, more than 1 in 5. In Sweden, it is 11.1%, and in Norway, it is 3.8%. This is in very stark contrast to Australia. In the Sydney Morning Herald on February 10, 2025, it stated that 2 out of 3 Aussie retirees who rent are living below the poverty line and have less than $25,000 in savings. And this was research undertaken by the Gratian Institute. This video is part 1 of a 2-part series, and I will put forward various budget hacks to help you stretch your dollars further. We'll talk about spend less and eat well. Some secrets to cutting grocery costs without cutting quality. Make your electricity bill work for you. And give every dollar a job. Plan your budget so your essentials are always covered first. Please stick around to the end because I'm sharing a powerful strategy that could change your finances big time. So don't miss this simple yet game-changing tip that will stretch your dollars further than you thought possible. My name is Desley, so let's get into it. Spend less and eat well. So some secrets to cutting grocery costs without cutting quality. Plan your meals for the week. Yes, I know, meal planning can be a real pain in the neck. However, if you plan ensuring that you have some variety, you can save heaps at the supermarket, which leads me into my second tip. Prepare a grocery list, ensuring you have checked your fridge, freezer and pantry prior to setting one foot outside your home. What I do is I developed a little mobile grocery app for my mobile, and I normally go through my fridge and freezer and pantry to see what I need, and I include it in the app. And because I have the last shopping grocery list prices, even though I've reset the app so that I get a good indication, I have a very good idea how much I'm going to spend at the supermarket before I even step foot out of the door. And it also means that I don't receive bill shock. Now, the trick is to use that particular app when I'm in the supermarket and walking around the aisles. Most times I do, sometimes I forget, unfortunately. If you don't have a large enough freezer space, you might want to consider saving up and buying a freezer. I did this last year and I bought a upright freezer on special and I got a very good deal. So it always pays to look around and compare and talk to the salespeople as to what sort of discount they can give you, even if it is on sale. And I'm gobsmacked of how much it makes a difference, not only to what I'm eating, because I have a lot more variety of meals prepared, but I can cook up different meals and in batches, like spaghetti bolognese. I might get 5 or 6 meals out of that. I know it's different for a family or if you're in a couple, but because I live alone, I can get 5 or 6 meals out of a bowl of making up a batch of spaghetti bolognese, and then I might even within a week make up a batch of curried sausages or beef strips. So it's amazing what you can do, and then freeze them, and it always means that I've got healthy meals to have, and I just defrost them and put them in the microwave for a couple of minutes, and voila, I have a hot meal which is quite nourishing. And it does save me heaps of dollars at the supermarket as well. If you live near your supermarket, one of the friends, what she did was, she used to go at 5 p.m. because she lived nearby a supermarket like Coles and Woolies, and quite often they have meat specials after 5 p.m. And she would pick up a lot of meat doing that for her family, and she had 5 children. She was a single mum, and that's what she actually did. So if you can, maybe that's a strategy. Now, I know that strategy is not going to work for everybody, particularly if you live many kilometres away from the nearest large supermarket. However, you can watch out for specials and shop on a specific day. For example, here in Aussie land, most times the supermarkets have their specials, their main specials, on a Tuesday, because they're trying to offload particularly produce and everything, because they're offloading from having the weekend, and then they're starting to prepare for the following weekend to come. Or alternatively, watch out for the specials and make a road trip out of shopping at various supermarkets for your grocery shop. It's amazing what you can pick up when you check it around. Another strategy to stretch your grocery dollars further, is to check your local food charity. As a pensioner, you are entitled to access your local food bank charity store. You may be able to purchase various staple items for a fraction of the price. When I accessed the food bank charity a few years ago, they recommended I come to them first to purchase what I can, and then go on to the major supermarkets to complete my grocery shopping. And this saved me heaps of dollars. So much so, I ended up volunteering for them until I obtained more paid work. Paying cash only. When you pay cash only, you will not only not have bill shock at the checkout, especially if you plan your grocery list in advance, and B, you can avoid overspending on your groceries, as you've always got it in the back of your mind when walking around the supermarket aisles exactly how much you've got and to spend, and you can't spend any more. So let's talk about making your electricity bill work for you. The Australian Bureau of Statistics average daily electricity use was lower for dwellings where the main source of income was age pension compared with disability support pension or wages salary. And that came from the 2021 census, with the report written in the administrative data snapshot in August 2023. Yet I think we can still do better. Do you unplug your appliances from the wall? This includes microwaves if you can get to it, kettles and toasters, air fryers, music when not in use. Some retirees even unplug their TV when not in use. It's amazing just that little bit, because most of these appliances, even though they're turned off, and they have residual electricity that's being used, which is clocking up your electricity bill. One strategy that I employed was I installed battery-operated sensor lights in my home. Not only does this give me plenty of lighting, it also is a security feature for my home. A friend of mine only cooks once a week. She undertakes her meal planning, ensures she has all the ingredients, and then does the weekly cook-up, thereby minimising her electricity usage. Switch rather than bitch. There are plenty of electricity providers who want your business and are prepared to give you discounts for doing so. So rather than doing a quarterly or annual review of your electricity company and your electricity bills, check every month whether there are different electricity providers who are offering better deals than you currently have. However, please ensure that you don't have to pay an exit fee. If not, switch. Set up a weekly, fortnightly or monthly direct debit to pay your electricity provider when you receive your pension. By checking our bills regularly, we can ascertain how much is being paid. Simply divide the amount by the number of weeks, i.e. 12 weeks for a quarterly, which equals 6 fortnights, or 3 months, depending on how you get paid. By direct debiting the amount when you receive your pension to your electricity provider, you will hopefully be in front when the electricity bill comes in, or be very close to it. However, do ensure you take into account the winter quarter, as heating may be necessary depending on where you reside. Rug up through the winter month rather than turning on the heater wherever possible. Now, this strategy may not suit everybody. Some people like to have their heaters on, or their split system air conditioner, which has a heating element. Me, I love my hoodies, and in fact I love them so much I bought 2, and so if I'm not wearing one's in the wash, so I've always got a clean hoodie. But I love rugging up in winter. However, and I find, well, I can rug up in winter, but I certainly can't strip off in summer. So different courses for different horses, but it might be a strategy you might want to use rather than putting on the heater. The third concept I want to talk about in this part 1 series is give every dollar a job. Plan your budget so your essentials are always covered first. Yes, I know, it's that boring word, budget. If you want a fantastic book to read, which you can either purchase or obtain from a library, I highly recommend Barefoot Investor, The Only Money Guide You'll Ever Need, by fellow Aussie Scott Pape. You will find a link in the description of this video. Please note, if you do use my link, I may receive a small commission if you do decide to purchase. Scott has a wonderful way of putting budget concepts into easy to understand words. He also talks about having a budget date night, where you review your budget and money buckets on a weekly, fortnightly or monthly basis, even if you're hosting the date night with yourself. So what are your essentials, your must-haves? For example, site fees are an essential for me, but you might be paying rent or paying a mortgage, or you might have rates. Groceries, we have to fuel our bodies, otherwise we're just not going to stay healthy or alive. Electricity, gas and water. Insurances, for example, home and contents insurance, cars. Medical, I include a budget amount in my budget planned for medical, for doctors, specialists, chemists, when I have to buy medication, tests and x-rays if I need to, if I'm not being bulk billed. But particularly specialists, because in Australia, whilst my GP does bulk bill me, my general practitioner, a specialist, I normally have to pay a gap fee. That the Medicare rebate is not enough to cover the specialist fee. So I like to include a small amount every fortnight in my budget so that if I do need to see a specialist, I've got money to do so. Do you need a car, or is public transport cheaper? Now, where I live, a car is pretty much an essential item because I live in a rural area. However, if you're in a city or town or you've got regular bus services, you may be able to get a pension discount on travel for buses and trains and that, so that it might be cheaper for you to actually go by public transport than it is to own a car. Petrol. This is a great one. It's a great little tip for Aussies, for Aussie seniors. You can apply free with United Petroleum stations. As long as you've hold a seniors card, you can apply to receive a 4 cents per litre discount on your petrol. And this will save you at the petrol bowser. You can only use it once a day to get the discount. However, it is a great saving mechanism, and not a lot of people know about it, or pensioners know that this is available to them. So another friend of mine does is that she doesn't have a United petrol station relatively nearby her. So what she does is she uses a fuel app on her mobile, which gives her the current prices for the different petrol stations, and she can lock in a particular price. Personal stuff like clothes, shoes, hairdresser, nails, etc. And also savings. I like to have a line item in my budget that I'm saving a particular amount every fortnight, so that I do have savings. They're not very big, but at least I've got them. So I also have a little emergency fund where I put money in, so that if an emergency comes up, I hopefully will be able to deal with it and have the money to do so. What I would say with savings is that small amounts do add up over time. So what are I would like to have or spend? The little items that help you to have quality of life. The trick here is that the items don't cost more than your essentials, or either singly or combined. Presents for family and friends and special events. These can be included in your budget if you can. This would be a really great way to go, because then you have the dollars when your family's birthdays come around or special events come around, like Christmas and Easter, and you've got the money to buy presents. Or are you able to create a present for family and friends rather than buying them a present? What I did was for a friend's birthday, I had some different loose Lego bricks, because you know I'm into Lego. So what I did was I created a little jewellery box for her. It was a multicoloured one. She really appreciated it, and because I already had the bricks, I didn't have to really go out and spend any money on her birthday present, because I already had stuff there. So have a look around your home, see what you can make, if you're creative, that people might like. If you would like a free budget template, head over to my website and you can download for free the budget template that I have put there. You don't have to give me an email or anything like that. It's totally free to download, and I'll leave the link in the description of the video. Now, the bonus strategy that I was talking about, here it is. Drum roll, please. Know your entitlements. It's amazing how many people don't realise what rebates they're entitled to as pensioners. So if you live in Australia, or even if you live overseas, access your local government department, whether it's a state department or your local area. For example, in New South Wales, here in Aussie land, it's Service New South Wales, and set up a time to speak to the designated person to go through the various entitlements you may be eligible for. You'll be amazed what you can get, like gas rebate, travel rebate, medical expenses travel if you travel regularly for medical health issues over a particular distance, and the list goes on. So in conclusion of this video, in part 1 of the series, we've discussed spend less and eat well, use cash when you do your grocery shop, make your electricity bill work for you, for example, switch rather than bitch, give every dollar a job, plan your budget, various essentials that you need to include, for example, like rent or mortgage or site fees, utilities, insurances and the like. What are your strategies that you have found work for you? Could you please share them in the comments section below this video? Please like the video, and it's free to subscribe to my channel. If you have any questions, ideas, suggestions, please don't hesitate to include them in the comments section below. And as I regularly check the comments so that I can respond to you. I hope you have a great day, be kind to one another, and I'll chat to you in part 2 of this series in the next video. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.